The Los Angeles Lakers are a team that really has two major rookies that are truly in focus. And for really two different reasons. Bronny James, the son of LeBron, he's got expectations just as a result of that, but he really needs to go out and develop his game a little bit more. And Dalton Connect has been really good for them, but people don't see him as having super high upside just as a result of his age. One other rookie that I've really taken note of on this team is Quincy Olivari, number 41. It's not necessarily just for his on-the-court play. He hasn't got a lot of opportunities on this team. That's, at the end of the day, no matter how this roster is constructed, no matter the slow start to the season that D'Angelo Russell's had, no matter what the ceiling of Austin Reeves as a player is, and it really, production-wise, looks like he has hit his peak as a player and he's kind of plateaued at this point. No matter what, at the end of the day, on a team with LeBron James in the waning years of his career, still playing at a high level, and a team with Anthony Davis, who at the start of the season was looking like a true MVP candidate and maybe the leading frontrunner for that, the team that's going to have championship expectations regardless, just because of that star forward duo and having a top two player in NBA history on your team. So Quincy Olivari, number 41, has not got a lot of opportunities for this team. But what we have been seeing from him is that this is a guy who just loves the game, and he really shows off the human element to it. So often in the NBA, we can get caught up in criticizing a player for their on-the-court performance and forget the human side of it, that at the end of the day, this is just an athlete who, yes, they've spent their entire lives working for this to make it to the NBA, but at the end of the day, they are still human. They're going to make mistakes, and they can be inconsistent at times. That's just part of the game. They're playing with super talented, elite, high-level players night in, night out that they weren't used to in high school, in college, and they're still human at the end of the day, and they're all going to respond to that differently, and it's the ones that can really take their game to the next level that become all-time greats. But not everyone is fit out to necessarily be an all-time great, and that's okay. And they're still human, and they're trying to build generational wealth for their family and play the game that they love. And they can catch a lot of criticism for their inconsistencies, and part of the time it is deserved for sure, but there's still a human element that can at times be lost. You look at Joel Embiid. He obviously had that recent controversy with shoving the reporter. The reporter made comments about Joel Embiid's family and him not honoring his late brother well. And you attack on family, that goes, you're taking away from the actual sports side of things, and you're moving on to something else entirely. And you really just forget the human element of it at the end of the day, that Joel Embiid is a guy who wasn't seen as a talented player for so long until he really started to make waves once he got into the NBA. This has been his livelihood, his life's work. That's the case with so many athletes, why they don't retire, why they take so long to retire. They can't admit that they're done because this is their life's work. They don't just want to walk away from that. It's the human element of things. And that's what's really stuck out to me with Quincy Olivari, is that human side of it, that real character that he's showing for this team. And he hasn't got a lot of opportunities to show that on the court. What he's really done off of it, that's really made him a fan favorite of mine. He's really a proper fan of the game. From everything we've seen from him, he's been very excited to play alongside LeBron James. Got to meet up with Steph Curry when LA has played the Warriors, and he has taken in all these moments so gracefully and showed his gratitude for them. He might never be a high-level player. He is absolutely living out his dream right now to just make it into the NBA. And he's really just taking it all in and being so grateful for it and meeting up with stars and playing alongside one of the greatest players of all time in LeBron James. That's super cool for them, and the ceiling might not be super high as a player. His respect for the game is absolutely there. To just see how he's taking it all in, that's super cool to see. As a guy who was so clearly a fan of the game, who grew up watching LeBron James, because LeBron has been in the league since 03. He was born in 01. So from about 2 years old to now, he has not seen an NBA without LeBron James in it. And he's absolutely taking in the opportunity and learning from the greats, just spending his time well with them and taking in, absorbing all that knowledge just because he has a deep respect for the game and he grew up watching these guys and he's been a fan of them, what they've done for it, and it really shows off the human side. And Quincy Olivari may not ever be a great NBA player, but his story is one to be admired from just the way that he has taken it all in, all this gratitude from living out his dream, and he's absolutely making the most of it. Even as a guy who struggles to get minutes at times as a rookie. Absolutely fine, by the way. No matter what his ceiling is as a player, number 41 is absolutely taking it all in and soaking up his dream right now that he's worked his whole life towards, just being in the NBA, playing alongside someone that he grew up watching, and meeting up with guys who revolutionized the game in Steph Curry. And it's really just showing the human side of things, and that's something that so often does not get focused on, especially as reporting more and more so loses sight of the storytelling aspect of things. I think Quincy Olivari has been a great story to start the year, and we're not projecting his ceiling as a player, we're just pointing out what he's been doing off the court has been really, really cool, and he's getting so many opportunities to live out his dream alongside a top 2 player in NBA history, someone that he grew up watching and likely idolized. Brings back that human element of it that is so often lost, especially in the modern NBA, especially with social media where players will catch criticism for anything. We can at times need to take a step back and appreciate the beautiful game that the NBA is. Appreciate the players behind the on-the-court play. They truly are off the court, who they are as humans, their proper character, and what they do and how they soak it all in and appreciate the moments and absorb the knowledge from the players that they are playing alongside. And that is absolutely what Quincy Olivari is doing, and he has become one of my favorite rookies just for that reason. I wish all the success for him. With this knowledge, even as a guy who isn't perceived as having necessarily a high ceiling, just absorbing all this knowledge, playing alongside LeBron James. Obviously, rookies have had a tendency in the past to not play well alongside LeBron, but to gain that knowledge from him can be huge for your long-term outlook as a player and developing your basketball IQ and experience beyond your years in the actual NBA. I think that could actually be a huge positive for Quincy Olivari, the way he's going about things right now. It's just a great story to see the real human aspect of things in a league that has so often now lost that side of things, lost that personal element to it. We're seeing it once again with Quincy Olivari. He's just soaking in his dream, all the opportunities that he's getting, all the knowledge that he's gaining. And he looks to make the most of it. This is his dream, and he's making all the money in the world. But that's not the most important thing to him right now. And it's just great to see the human side of things once again in a sport and just overall country that's kind of lost that. It's really just been exemplified for number 41 on the Lakers, maybe the least talked about rookie on that team, but one who has just really shown his passion for the game, how excited he is to be in the NBA and the knowledge that he's ready to learn. And that really just projects high for his basketball IQ in the future, just as a result for being willing to take in all this knowledge. And so many guys can be overconfident and believe that they know everything just immediately coming into the league, and they don't. But number 41 is just quite the opposite of that, and it's great to see. I wish him all the best in the future, and he has become one of my favorite rookies and one of my favorite Lakers players, even though he might get limited time. Number 41 is definitely one to watch in the future, and even right now, just for what he's doing and the way that he's just taken it all in with so much gratitude and really just showed that personal side of things when we can so often lose track of it.